Birthdays are a really big deal around my house, and along with birthdays comes birthday cake. Everyone loves their birthday cake. This year, for the first time in his life, my 20-year-old son couldn't be home for his birthday. So I thought and I Googled and I Pinterested, and I came across a genius idea that I want to share with you guys. Are you ready? Cake in a jar. There's cake in this jar. And it is sealed so that it will stay moist and fresh inside this jar for weeks while you ship it. So this is great for anyone who doesn't have access maybe to baking materials or to an oven, such as college students, missionaries, people serving in the military. It's fantastic. And it's really inexpensive. You can also print out these labels for free to attach to make it super cute.
Here's what you need for supplies. 1 box cake mix. Each cake mix will make 4 pint-sized jars of cake. You'll also need the ingredients listed on the back of your individual cake mix. Mine needed 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and a half cup of oil. You'll also need non-stick cooking spray. And of course, you're going to need 4 pint-sized wide mouth mason jars with lids and rings. There are 5 pictured here because I was hoping to stretch the cake mix and use 5 jars, but nope, it's really just 4 jars. Let's get started. First, you must wash your jars. I hand washed mine because I was only making 1 cake mix and therefore only needed to wash 4 jars. But if you hate hand washing or you have a bunch more, feel free to put those suckers through a dishwasher cycle. You just want to make sure the jars are clean and ready to go. Now, no matter what your box says, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then follow the instructions on the back of your cake mix box to add the ingredients to whip up some delicious cake batter. I needed 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and a half cup of oil. My box also said to use a mixer for 2 minutes. You're going to want to grease your jars. I used a non-stick cooking spray. This way, whoever you send the cake to will be able to get out every bit of yummy cake. Now it's time to fill the jars a little bit less than halfway with cake batter. You don't want to do more than that because the cake will expand as it bakes and it'll stick out past the rim. You can trim this back if it happens, but it looks a little prettier if you don't have to. Once you have them full, I took the time to use a wet paper towel and wipe off any cake batter that I dripped on the top or the sides. This will bake there and look less attractive. Place all your filled up jars into a baking dish with sides so that you can easily move the jars into and out of the oven. Pop those beauties in and bake them for 23 to 25 minutes. When you're a few minutes away from your oven timer going off, take out the mason jar lids, put them in a pot, cover them with water, and boil them. You don't need to boil the rings, just the lids themselves. This cleans your lid and also gets the wax on them warmed up for what's to come. Once you've boiled them and are just a few minutes away from your timer going off, turn off the heat and leave the lids in the water. Ding! Your timer goes off and it's time to check the cake for doneness. You do this the same way you would check a full-size cake. Use a toothpick or a fork and insert it into the center. If it comes out clean with just a few crumbs attached to it, it's ready to come out. Congratulations. If not, just pop it back in the oven for a few minutes and check again. I like to prepare for the next step by laying out a clean dish towel on my counter. Next, carefully remove your baked cake jars in the pan with an oven mitt and set them somewhere heat safe near your dish towel. Using your oven mitt, remove one of the jars from the pan and set it on your dish towel. Immediately use a pair of tongs to remove one of those lids from the water. Quickly dry it off using a separate dish towel or paper towel and pop it on top of one of the jars. Screw a ring down onto the jar and then place it upside down with the screwed on lid at the bottom onto your dish towel. As it cools, The heat from the cake will seal the lid onto the jar. Sometimes you'll hear a small pop when it seals, but not always. Once the jars are cool, test the lid by pushing down in the center. If the lid is flat and can't be depressed, it has successfully sealed. If not, just know that that particular jar will need to be eaten soon because it didn't seal. All of mine have sealed so far, but check just to be sure. The only thing left to do is decorate the jars. I've got a very cute tag you can print out here for free. Adding ribbon with some sticker adhesive or hot gluing it on will make this gift all the more adorable. Isn't that just the coolest thing? Cake in a jar! And it will stay fresh for much longer than usual and can be shipped. Seriously fun. I sent along a jar of frosting and some birthday candles and a box of matches so that my son would have something to blow out as we sang happy birthday over FaceTime. Don't forget that all the jars need to be wrapped in bubble wrap with some layers of the bubble wrap along the bottom and sides of your shipping box so that the jars survive their shipping. Happy crafting!